We are all different, yet each of us the same. This phrase is somewhat of a paradox, but it's an idea that I've become very familiar with during the course of my studies here at IUP. I have been trained to think like a sociologist. I've been trained to find commonalities in the experiences among a group of people. However, I've also been taught to be wary of taking characteristics from only one individual and applying them to an entire population. In sociology, this is a concept referred to as the individualistic fallacy, or is otherwise known as making an overgeneralization. The danger in making an overgeneralization is that it draws a broad conclusion through a narrow lens. So while I could talk about my personal experiences over the past 4 years, it would not and could not fully capture the diversity of everyone's respective experiences. Because my college experience is just that. It's mine, just as yours is your own, marked by the unique struggles and triumphs that make life both bitter and sweet. Despite our personal narratives being shaped by a variety of different circumstances, we all made the common decision to attend IUP. Some of us have experienced college as a string of hardships, and some of us have experienced it as a string of successes. But most of us have experienced the peaks and valleys, somewhere in between. As students, we exulted when we reached the peaks and reveled in our accomplishments, whether that was receiving a merit scholarship, winning the championship game, or landing the job of our dreams. There were also times that we felt disheartened, like we were stuck in the bottom of a valley. Whether that was because we were feeling overwhelmed by our coursework, worrying about finances, or dealing with the pressures of having to balance our education with work and family life. Here's an extreme example. In March of 2014, the student rental that I was living in caught on fire in the middle of the night. The structure was completely destroyed, and I lost nearly all of my possessions. It was, quite honestly, a nightmare situation that left me feeling as though I was trapped in the bottom of the Grand Canyon, let alone a valley. But with the support of my family, friends, and the IUP community, I was able to scale my way up and out of that valley. And now here I am, here we all are as graduates, standing at what I would consider to be the proverbial summit of our college careers. The only reason that I bring up this personal anecdote is to illustrate how the strings of hardships and successes that preceded today were all very different for each of us. But that's not to say that our paths were completely void of any shared feelings and experiences. In fact, the beauty of a college campus, and IUP in particular, is that each cohort contributes to the development of a unique community of support, a shared culture, and a shared place in history. As the IUP graduating class of 2015, we know what it's like to be on the cusp of change. We stand here at the beginning of a new millennium, well into the recovery of a global economic collapse, and at the end of 2 of the longest wars in American history. We all began our careers at IUP with a feeling of uncertainty about the world and our place in it. As time went on, we've become more grounded in the choices we've made. Choices ranging from selecting a major, to participating in student life, to developing meaningful personal relationships. In this same time, our country climbed out of the recession and war drew to a close. These factors, both personal and historical, coalesced, giving us little room to drift or to make a mistake. So while today is undoubtedly meant to be celebrated as a peak life moment, I don't blame anyone for asking the question, what's next? It's natural for us to feel uncertain about the future and to second-guess decisions we've made. It's okay to feel uncertain and unsure about the next step, because we've seen what the world can dish out and we know that it's up to us to deal with it. The purpose of commencement is about honoring the power we have to conquer our fears. Earning an education means that we now have the resources to enrich our lives and the lives of others. It is an extremely valuable power that has been bestowed upon us by this great university. So we have common experiences, a place in history, fears, and a common source of power. But remember, it would be an individualistic fallacy to assume that all of us are the same based on these shared experiences. Just as we come from different backgrounds, we now leave in different directions to establish our own paths. We're all the same, yet each of us different. Thank you, and congratulations to the IUP graduating class of 2015.